work a lot with DPS and enforcement. And when I ride with those guys out on the road, and a lot of the reason I do that because on the traffic enforcement committee of CSA, we talk about the out of service rule. What does 392.5 mean? What does 396.3 mean? What's the impact? And the reason I'm absorbing that is because of my background in maintenance and driving. And it's just taken me almost 10 years for CBSA to work with this. But they're a good organization that work with what impact is this rule going to have. If you give me texting, you're going to expect my officer to enforce it, that kind of stuff. So one of the things that came up in the last meeting was, in Anaheim, California, was the committee. Remember, this is made up of state enforcement. At the table, you got 2 industry representatives, then you got 13 enforcement, 13 states, and the whole wall lined with state enforcement. That's what CBSA is. So Massachusetts needs to know how Captain Meyer is going to act in Kansas to exchange information within CSA. So that when a driver has a problem with a carrier and they data key Massachusetts, the driver may already be in Kansas. So how does that look and behave under the CSA 2010? And that's the kind of stuff we talked about. So regardless whether the unfit fit comes out, regardless if there's any statutory authority to yank you out of a truck and pull your license plate, they don't really have to do that. Because if you can't get this, and you can't get that, it don't matter. That is what's going to change the scope of the industry, not enforcement.
Can I ask a question? The insurance, as far as whatever I've read, is they're not going to have access to the information for CSA.
Well, they'll have the public go on.
Just what's on the public, but not the scores or anything.
No, they'll have it. The underwriter will have it, or he won't write your policy, because he's writing your risk based on what you're telling him on what. Remember, the scope of CSA is to drive what's behind the curtain. So the perception is, if you've got a deficient rating at 23% in your equipment, and you got a 12% in your driver fatigue and 0 in the rest of them, the underwriter's saying, you don't have the EUBR, you're setting my underwriter at risk. You're not fixing the equipment. The driver doesn't hit the driver doesn't have the wreck, the truck does. So now that's an asset that you're going to have on my underwriting policy.